everybody, it's Brad with the first Tubi Tuesday of the year. So here is Tubi Tuesday for January. And for those who don't know what Tubi Tuesday is, it is a video I put out on the last Tuesday of the month, and I give some of the highlights and lowlights of films I've watched on Tubi, as well as, maybe a few suggestions I've found along the way. So we're going to kick it off with our lowlights. We're going to start at the bottom. I always start at the bottom because, I want to end on a high note. So starting off is my first film is Sushi Girl from 2012. This stars Tony Todd, Mark Hamill, and Noah Hathaway, who plays Atreyu in The Neverending Story. And, this movie isn't awful. It doesn't... I didn't hate that I watched it. And it's basically about a man who just got out of prison, and the group of guys, they're bringing everybody together for a supper to celebrate him getting out of jail. And the dinner is basically, it's a nude woman laying on a table, and they put sushi across her, and they're eating and going through, what happened in this incident that got him in jail. Things happen, craziness ensues. There was a lot of it that I had a ton of fun with, but it just drug on a little too long. It got to a point where I get it. Let's go. Let's get it going. Let's figure out what's happening next. Mark Hamill was great in it, though. I will fully support him. He was amazing in it. But it was kind of at the bottom of what I watched this month. Next on the list is a movie from 2009 called Laid to Rest. And this is about a woman who wakes up in a casket and she can't remember anything. And then there is a killer with a chrome skull mask that they end up calling Chrome Skull, and he has a camera mounted to his shoulder. He records these kills, and he's coming after them, and she doesn't know why. And the movie itself wasn't that good. The practical work and stuff on the kills was really good, but that was all the movie had going for it. The story in between and acting and everything else just fell flat. So I can't suggest that anybody watch it. There is a sequel, Laid to Rest 2, which I will probably watch just because I want to see where it goes. Unfortunately, the director passed away last year, so we won't get a third one. But yeah, I cannot recommend the first Laid to Rest. I just did not enjoy it. And then at the bottom, the complete worst movie I watched this month was from 2018 called The Toy Box. And this stars Denise Richards. And it's about an estranged family going on a road trip to kind of get back connected with each other. They had a death in the family, and they've kind of all split apart. So they're trying to reconnect with each other in this RV in a cross-country trip. And guess what? The RV's haunted. Oh my gosh. The concept could have been really cool, but this movie might have the worst editing I've ever seen in a movie. There's so many fast cuts that I got to a point I literally yelled at my screen knock it off. It was just not good at all. So they tried to make it very serious and very emotional, and the emotional beats when they're supposed to happen, you're supposed to feel for these characters, you just don't care. I'm just I don't care. I just move on. Let's get this over with. Come on. And I do not recommend anyone watching The Toy Box. It just failed in every aspect. All right, let's move on to the top of what I watched in January. And coming in at number 3 is called The Appaloosa, and it's from 1966. And it's about a man played by Marlon Brando who is working to recover his stolen horse from a Mexican bandit who's played by John Saxon. Now, this film, I love Westerns, and this film was just really solid, really good Western. Marlon Brando and John Saxon play their characters really well, and Marlon Brando's kind of almost like a man with no name, kind of mysterious guy. He has a few more lines, than Clint Eastwood does in his, but overall, I really enjoyed this film, and anyone who's a fan of Westerns or anything, I highly recommend checking out The Appaloosa. It is a good film to add to your watch list. Okay, next on the list is a movie from 2009 called The Disappearance of Alice Creed. And this stars Gemma Arterton, who you may know from The Prince of Persia. She's been in countless films. I really like her. I think she's a great actress. And this is about, she is the daughter of a very wealthy man, and she gets kidnapped. And it's basically a one-room film with these two men that captured her. And then there's some twists and turns along the way as you kind of find out more of the story between these two men and her and everything outside. I really did enjoy this movie. I always like a good one-location film. I always enjoy it if it's done well. It's similar to, movies like Very Bad Things, Suicide Kings. I like these movies with these twists and turns and in a single location. On the bottom of my list, Sushi Girl was kind of that same way. It just kind of didn't quite get to where it needed to be to make it really good. But The Disappearance of Alice Creed, I highly recommend checking out. So the top one for the month of January was a documentary put out by Fox Sports. It's called All Madden. Just came out last year, 2021. And it is a documentary highlighting a little bit of John Madden's coaching career, but it really focuses in a lot on the influence he's had on the sport and the influence he's had through broadcasting up through the video games and how much he really did for the sport. Watching it, I loved whenever I watched a game and John Madden and Pat Summerall were commentating. It was always a highlight game to watch. It was a really good film, really well done documentary, and a lot of it was kind of like a tribute to him. There were a lot of it was him watching these videos of people talking about him. Unfortunately, just mere days after this was released, he passed away. But any football fan, any sports fan, definitely check out All Madden. I highly recommend it. I thought it was really well done. So that will do it for Tubi Tuesday for January. There are a few films I'm looking forward to add to the list for next month. One is The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, directed by Terry Gilliam. I've never seen it. It is on Tubi. Another film that I love that is on Tubi that I plan on watching this month is The Way of the Gun with Ryan Felipe and Benicio del Toro. If you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend it. I plan on checking out A Most Wanted Man with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It is a film I've never seen, and I love him as an actor. There are a bunch of horror movies that I plan on checking out for next month. One called Lilith that looks really good. Beyond the Black Rainbow. Many others. Follow my journey over at Tubi Tuesday on Twitter and Instagram to see kind of what I'm watching every week. I try to post anytime I watch a film on Tubi on there. You can also message me on both and let me know some Tubi films maybe I should be checking out that maybe I haven't mentioned or watched. If you need more movie recommendations or movie talk, follow our podcast at wearethecinemaguys.com. It's myself, Justin, and the Sin Maiden. We're just three friends that enjoy talking movies. So go check us out. Thank you for watching this video. And as I like to always say, Tuesdays aren't just for tacos. See you guys.